Action News at 6. I'm Wendy Ryan.
I'm Paul Agrone. A Florida man was thrown in jail after his wife discovered that he was married to 2 other women at the same time. He was back in court yesterday for his sentencing hearing after pleading guilty to bigamy, which is a felony.
And new tonight, I-Team investigator Adam Walser is following through with the latest developments in this strange case, and it was shared all across social media.
Henry Betsy Jr. pleaded guilty to a single felony count of bigamy back in May. But after he entered that plea deal, he was arrested in another state, leading the judge to revoke his bond. When we last saw Henry Betsy Jr. in court, he was dressed in a sports shirt and blazer with his new girlfriend beside him.
Yeah, Henry, we want to get your side of all this. What can you tell us?
Well, unfortunately, I'm unable to talk at this moment.
But when he arrived for his sentencing hearing Thursday, he was wearing handcuffs and an orange Hernando County jail uniform. His bond revoked by the judge because he was arrested for assault and battery of a family or household member. The alleged assault took place in Virginia, where he and his girlfriend had traveled to attend a wedding. Thursday's hearing was all about the felony bigamy charge we first told you about in May. 3 Florida women from 3 different Florida counties all met Henry Betsy Jr. on dating websites and married him at county courthouses during a 2-year period. Only one of his wives was willing to appear on camera.
I met him on Match.com.
He said all the right things.
He sold the perfect person when in reality he was none of those things.
Betsy didn't get divorces or annulments before marrying again. Last year, Tanya Betsy learned Henry was married to Michelle and Brandy Betsy.
I just started county by county putting his name in, and that's when I came up with the marriage to Michelle and the marriage to Brandy.
She found me and she messaged me, and I had no idea that she was actually still married to him.
The wives all blame the state of Florida for not cross-referencing marriage.
It's fair that you get to hear what's going on with your case. Your lawyer wants to challenge probable cause in this case. You're charged with interference with the duties of a public servant. You are facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. That's what you're charged with. I don't know. So I'm going to have them read, and we're going to do probable cause to see whether we're going to go forward or not. Okay? Okay. What happened?
On January 10, 2025, the officers in official uniforms and riding in a marked patrol vehicle were...
This isn't your average open and shut misdemeanor. What starts as a basic interference with a public servant charge spirals into a battle over rights, power, and whether walking away from cops should land you behind bars. But keep your eye on this next detail. The prosecution's version of events, it's about to get legally slippery.
Vehicle were dispatched to a disturbance at a residence in Harris County, Texas. The officer observed the defendant standing outside the location, being told to leave by the resident, to which the defendant refused by verbally yelling at the resident in a loud, aggressive tone of voice. The officer announced themselves and observed the defendant begin to walk away. The officer gave the defendant a verbal command to put his hands behind his back, and the defendant pulled his hand away. The defendant refused to comply with verbal commands, and the defendant held his arms to his chest as the officer attempted to detain him. The defendant continued to refuse additional commands to stop resisting and put hands behind his back. He yelled at the officer in an aggressive tone and shouted out loud, "Don't let them take me." The officer performed a leg sweep and continued to struggle and the defendant due to him pulling away. The officer began to roll around while on the ground and reached the officer's hands to prevent him from being placed in handcuffs. The officer continued to give commands and the defendant continued to refuse.
I get it. But what's he doing? I mean, he's walking away. That's what they wanted. Right?
So,
Yeah. Just losing?
So, Your Honor, in this case, to read the full dim, it was the disturbance call, and they said they observed him standing outside the above location, being told to leave, and they observed him verbally refuse, and then...
Right, but then cops get up there.
And then they observed him begin to walk away, and it says they approached Jones and observed he was intoxicated in a public place based on his slurred speech, pupil size, and...
Didn't say that.
That was in the complete dims, Your Honor. And then it
Do you know about that?
And aggressive behavior.
But
Okay,
I
go
have my
ahead.
argument prepared. Judge, my argument is exactly what you started to say. There's some sort of disturbance. Somebody's asking him to leave. They're yelling and screaming at each other. Police coming up and saying, "Hey, I'm the police." You can walk away from that all day long. My client did walk away from that. My client's loud and emotional, as you can tell here today. You're allowed to walk away emotional, yelling, screaming, even using profanity in this state if you want to. Then the cops come up to him and suddenly there's some kind of unfounded allegation of intoxication. There's absolutely no fact.
Did you catch that shift? The defense just launched a tactical strike. Their claim, the cops didn't detain him because of any real threat, just because he dared to walk away. That's a key Fourth Amendment trigger. Was the stop legal at all? If it wasn't, everything after, like resisting, could be tossed out. Would you call this interference or overreach? Drop your verdict below.
Absolutely no facts other than that statement. I smell marijuana. You look intoxicated, because it looks like he walked away and the cops didn't want him to walk away. And so now they need a reason to arrest him. My argument is based on if he's charged with interference with a public servant, that doesn't come until later. He has to be lawfully arrested and lawfully detained or lawfully with the police before that even occurs. Walking away when a resident tells you to leave and all you've got in your sworn statement is, we identified ourselves as police, so what? Everything that happens after that is fruit of the poisonous tree.
So they go up and they see that he possibly could be intoxicated. So does it go into a potential public intox investigation?
If it does, they need to announce that. You can't just walk up to me and say, I'm the police, stop. We don't live in that kind of society. I'm the police, I need to investigate you, so therefore stop all day long. I'm the police, we're investigating, I need you to step aside, sir, so I can investigate this matter all day long. But hey, I'm the popo.
So the reasonable suspicion we have is they begin to investigate what?
So
a criminal trespass.
They're called, yes, a disturbance, and they saw him yelling, being aggressive, and then as he walked away, that's when they saw.
So the trespass investigation ceases because he's leaving. Right. Yes or no?
It's not specified to be a trespass, Your Honor. It's specified just to be a disturbance.
That's what it is. Okay, but it's a trespass that they're investigating a trespass, right? I mean, for all intents and purposes, isn't that what it is?
Okay.
The investigation begins as a trespass investigation because he's there. Homeowners asked him to leave. He's refused to leave. So cops come and he begins to leave. So at that point, all should have ceased. But the cops go up to try to.
Yes, Your Honor. Well, in this case, Your Honor, it would be that, yes, he attempted to leave, but once the officers arrived, so they would still need to investigate to determine if the trespass even occurred, to determine,
He's leaving.
He's walking.
He's leaving. Right? It's like, here, let me come and mess with you more.
That would only.
Right? So it's like adding fuel to a fire.
But they would still have grounds to investigate, and furthermore, with the further signs of possible public intoxication, it would give them further grounds to investigate.
That's because they're going up to him to mess with him.
Well, they're going up to investigate what they saw him refusing to leave, and he leaves. He only left once they arrived. So with maybe potential fear of apprehension, that's when he decided to leave, which it wouldn't be. It wouldn't undercut their ability to investigate what they had observed happen in front of them regarding that public or that disturbance that they were called about. They still need to figure out what happened there and if there was a trespass to begin with.
Judge, you can't flee a trespass. The way you comply is by fleeing.
Well, we don't know it was a trespass. It was a disturbance. We don't always specify the disturbance.
I'm going to find no probable cause.
Boom. That's it. No probable cause. In legal terms, that's like a house collapsing before the first brick is laid. The arrest, null. The charge, dismissed. The judge even drops a life tip on the defendant about avoiding drama. But here's the bigger takeaway. One shaky police report nearly triggered jail time. If your jaw's on the floor, smash like